Okay, now if we scroll down to the bottom, we see a preview that just includes the title. Now, whenever we choose fields as the display type for a view, it automatically adds the title so we have something we can look at in the preview. This actually provides us with the first bit of content that we want to display for each post, although we want to wrap this in a heading of some kind. In this case, a heading 2 makes sense. The title of the blog will be in a heading 1 tag, so the next level of heading makes sense for this particular bit of content. I'll scroll up to the top here and click title. We're going to manipulate this. If you've watched previous videos, then you already know how to do this. You might want to pause here and see if you can get this done. So the idea is that we're going to wrap h2 tags around our title. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to click Style Settings and click Customize Field HTML. And for the HTML element, we're going to select h2. And it's as simple as that. We'll go ahead and leave this checked, link this field to the original piece of content, because we want people to be able to click on the title in order to go to the post. This is also really important for SEO purposes. Okay, I'll click Apply All Displays, and now we see our heading as a heading 2 tag. Okay, great. So if we jump back to our wireframes, the next two bits that we need are the body and the image. Now there are several ways to get this image displayed on the right-hand side. One way that you're already familiar with is by using a display suite layout to actually position these two items in two separate columns. The downside to doing that is that as this content extends past the image, it will continue down this column and it won't wrap around the image. So if we want the content to wrap around the image, which is really more of a standard behavior, then we're going to need to use some CSS in order to add a float, it's called a float in CSS, to this image to float it to the right. Now to add that CSS, we're not going to be able to use views, so we're going to have to embed the CSS through some other method. In previous site building videos, we did this by using CSS injector. As we work through this process, we're actually going to go through the steps to create a full subtheme and add our CSS file through that. And the reason why we're doing that, even though it seems a little themer-ish, is that by creating a subtheme, we'll have some additional tools available to us to manipulate the output of the site, and it will also be easier for a themer to use in the long run if they have those CSS declarations in a separate file that they can work with. It's not that hard to do as well, so just knowing how to create a subtheme is a good skill to have in general.